Hello and welcome to Ledgercast. It's Friday, September 2nd, and I am here with Josh Olswich. Josh, how's it going?
Good. I have the chains like going on in my head. Like, oh, the chain. I'm terrible. I'm not gonna try to sing it.
You don't normally hear it, do you? It's normally on the
No, I do know.
stream's ears.
I do hear it. I hear it. That's how
Oh,
like that preps me mentally for diving into the conversation. So I'm like, it's a slow start for me right now, mentally.
good. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you're here to start it all. So, and that we're able to chat and be together again today. I don't always do this, but I'm going to do it today. I want to show my bags. Go to flip.xyz. That's my business. Today's Ledgercast is brought to you by Flip. It's a smart way to NFT multi marketplace. Navigate, go find NFTs. You can discover, curate stuff you want to follow. You can buy on Flip. We gave away 2 Pudgy Penguins this week. 2. Shout out to them. It's a really awesome way to check out the NFT market, and I'm really proud of it. We've been working really hard on it. So I hope that you'll check it out. You can even go and add a bunch of different stuff to your cart and do like one single checkout with a bulk transaction process. And then if you find your favorite NFT in the world, I mean, just look at this. You get rarity radar, trait analysis, historical activity, all kinds of cool stuff. Follow the ones you love, all on Flip. Check it out. Flip.xyz. Thanks so much. Josh, how you doing, man?
Good. I've been thinking a lot about NFTs lately, just
Really?
randomly. Yeah. It's a bear market, right? Realistically, it's a bear market. Not just for NFTs, just in general. So bear markets are for learning. They're not for trading. Let's be realistic here. So I was digging into Flow, the blockchain,
Yeah.
and I know all about it from like CryptoKitties, Dapper Labs, and NBA Top Shot. But it just seems like it's so centralized that calling it a blockchain, calling it a cryptocurrency is like a disservice to every other NFT project that's on some other actual chain, right?
Yeah.
It's I think we're going to see a lot of this. We're starting to see it now with Helium. Helium wants to move to Solana, but I can envision a world where Flow may eventually these anything that's purpose built, like years ago, or like specific, like Filecoin even, right? I don't know. Any of this stuff could theoretically just be a layer two
Yep.
on somebody else's chain, right?
And they adopt the security model of the underlying layer. That's what makes the concept of layer one and layer two interesting to me. It's
Well,
about
you do need to be, down with the sickness of the layer one, as in you do have to agree with, your governing body effectively, right? If you're a layer two, but I think we're going to see more of that. I really do, because a lot of these chains just have not so great uptime or security issues, or just don't want to deal with, creating their own ecosystem, which I think is a good thing. It's a good thing for
yeah,
everybody, but
yeah. It's definitely a good thing. That's the public utility of the security of the main chain is a feature, killer feature.
yeah, we're starting to see that materialize. Not only like I think we're going to see like layer twos even like chain hop a little bit. Not even so much multi-chain, but um, I don't know, like the M&A thing in the crypto world, I think is going to be emulated via these layer one, layer two. Zcash, another great example. For years, people have talked about Zcash just being an Ethereum sidechain, which is probably where it needs to live.
Yeah,
Um, So
yeah,
I think we're going to see a lot of that, a lot of that. And then the question becomes, okay, there's all these layer twos. Where does the value go? Does the value accrual go towards the layer one, or does it go in the layer two token? Is the layer two effectively a parasite? Like, where's the benefit for the layer one? You know what I mean?
yeah. You get enough layer two action going down and settling on the layer one. The layer one is still in a lot of demand. Um, but yeah, I think those are good questions. Good bear market talk. Speaking of bear market talk, and one of the members of the chat is upset with us about it. This pitchfork, tell me about it.
Yeah. So I've had this thing on both ETH and BTC. Looking at bear market, everything correlates. So ETH and BTC realistically, roughly look kind of the same. ETH clearly better, near term as far as price action, right? ETH is up, 50% from the bottom still. 80%. Okay, it's up 80% from the bottom. BTC not so much, right? ETH hit almost 150% to be generous from the bottom. But even still, ETH and BTC are both in this very strong downward channel where anybody can draw this. Just literally pick 3 points, and you'll start to see these materialize, as we make higher highs or lower lows, just in any market, and then you can sort of figure out, okay, you draw this, so I drew this, I don't know, weeks ago. Like, it doesn't really matter, but just for people who are seeing it for the first time, you're not really curve fitting so much as just seeing, like, where's the momentum, So being still within this says that we are bearish until we're out of it, right? So you might be leaning bullish to neutral here, as I am. Like, I'm on the neutral side of the equation right now. But until we're out of this, you really can't say we're bullish.
I'm feeling very, very neutral. Maybe I would even call it complacent, which I don't know if that's good or bad, right?
I mean, that's fine. The last thing you want to be doing in this market is overtrading every single economic data that's released around the world, every single headline. I mean, clearly that's what markets are doing right now. They're just super hyper reactionary to literally anything in any country around the world. Taiwan shoots down a drone, everyone's like, oh, like doesn't matter what the reality is, right? Today we saw Nord Stream 1 saying they're not going to turn LNG back on, or whatever Europe's going through. Like, everything's a mess. Everything's a complete mess. And when you're not beating to the march of your own drum, crypto isn't here, right? It's just following along all this stuff.
I do think
very hard.
I do think ETH looks way better than BTC. Like, look at this. This is disgusting. Like, this looks really, really bad to me, whereas ETH looks okay.
The difference here between the two for me is definitely the 200-week moving average, like you have up there. Now, BTC could morph into some Adam and Eve still. It could morph into some even inverted head and shoulders. Like, it's got time, plenty of time to figure out what it's going to do when it grows up. But there's no doubt that it looks worse, quote unquote, worse than ETH does here. And that makes sense, right? ETH has this event going on. Hopefully, I'm just sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of talking about it. It's like Terra and Do Kwon. Like, I'm just sick of hearing about it already. Like, let's just get it over with.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Hopefully it goes smoothly, and it's in the rear view. But that's the difference maker here, right? Obviously, ETH has this event, BTC does not. And ETH's event may be enough to just pull the entire market out of this doldrum city that we're in.
I hope so. I hope so.
Roll that out.
I'm not sure if we can get it done, but it's the only thing there is to do it, because BTC looks like it just wants to wash these lows to me. ETH looks fine. Like, it doesn't look like it's threatening an equal bottom, whereas BTC is basically there. ETH BTC still looks incredibly good to me. Nomad was giving me crap last week, I guess, or whenever we last recorded, for talking my bags and calling me an ETH maxi or something like that. But I'm not. I'm just looking at the freaking chart. It looks way better. What am I supposed to say? You're better off holding ETH than BTC at this time. So, from a pure technical perspective, I don't care about your fundamentals, although those are better too right now. I'm just cope all you want, Nomad, or give me crap. What else am I supposed to do?
Well, this is the issue, right? Will centralization for ETH matter? It'll matter eventually. It may not matter 90 days up past the merge. May not matter 180 days past the merge. But we will have to pay the piper on ETH, or ETH will eventually, with the centralization issues that are 100% going to be a problem. The Tornado Cash stuff is a great example, like we've already talked about, and many people have, of the issues with centralization regarding consensus and transactions and all that stuff. So, but in the near term, you're right. ETH BTC, that chart looks the best it's ever looked at this level, ever. It's never looked this good.
Yeah.
And that's not even like super compelling as far as like a chart pattern or anything trend, right? It's just at its highs again and just sitting here. I think it looks great.
The RIP mode of this though is to go to like 1,000 and 10,000 or something, 0.1 ETH to BTC, but everything's wrecked and nobody cares.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're literally long ETH BTC, then you're fine, right? You're still up to some degree, But if you're just in the USD side of things, then yeah, obviously, if dirty fiat is what you're paying attention to.
Yeah, it depends how you're denominating.
Yeah, for sure.
So on the USD side of that equation, and this pitchfork, BTC and ETH, you've had them both, but what's going to change your mind and say like, all right, pitchfork's broken or the primary downtrend is broken, and you feel a little optimistic?
Well, it's got to get out of this. It again, I didn't draw this like after any of this happened. This was drawn weeks ago, so this just tells me, yeah, the market is still very much aware that we're in this downward trend. The hive mind of whoever's trading this. So until we buck this trend, it's down as the expectation. We may slide out of this eventually, but until we're out of it, you can't say, oh yeah, we're bullish now, we're fine. Not only that, we're so far away from the 200-day moving average. Even still, like that's the ultimate litmus test. And then something else I'm watching is where is it on here?
I'd be happy with it just to get back between the 200-week and the 200-day. Like that would give me more confidence in sideways. Like I'm not even talking about bullish trending, just not dying.
This is the big issue. The 20-week and the 200-week have never crossed ever, and it looks like they almost certainly will. So the question is, what does that mean? Is that actually turbo bearish? I think it's terrible.
I mean, where they are right now was basically the Pico bottom of the last bear market.
Right. If we look at, the difference then and now is there was a clear pattern to get us out of this mess, right? This was 2019, and then if we go all the way back to 2015, we had Wyckoff stuff here for a year, right? There's plenty of reasons to save ourselves. But I'm looking at the current price.
You know what though? We can get excited that if it bear crosses, when it bull crosses, we are that much more bullish of the recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a silver lining.
I'm trying to bring that silver lining in.
That's fair, but it's just that is not a good sign that we are crossing on those MAs.
Yeah. Hey, Legacy was looking okay this week until you're saying just before the show there's some news, I guess, in the last hour and a half, and the market doesn't like it, and now the S&P's nuking, and maybe crypto is about to nuke too.
Well, we had jobless claims on Thursday. We had non-farm payroll today, and then we had this Nord Stream 1 news like minutes ago. So again, everything's just hyper reactionary to every little metric or any news headline. The Nord Stream 1 stuff has been an issue for a long time, and it isn't looking much better as far as energy in Europe. I don't know if anyone's listening to this who's in Europe, but they're dealing.
It looks terrible.
They're dealing with catastrophic energy costs. So
yeah, and that's across Europe, but most potent in Germany. Is that right?
I believe that's the case. Yeah. Just to bounce around, Chainlink looks okay. If I only pay attention to technicals for some of these charts, like Chainlink, I think the coin shouldn't exist, but I'll trade it, right? Like this looks pretty good into October. I don't mean like today. I just mean it's not making lows. It's got like this triple bottom stuff. Matic, I think, looks phenomenal here.
Ooh, cloud action.
It's getting ready to bust above the cloud. I would argue a cup and handle, even though the chart pattern maxis would tell me you can't have a cup and handle at the bottom of the trend. It's a continuation pattern, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. This looks like a cup and handle to me-ish, right? It's close enough. So I think this breaks $1.
How dare you?
I think this is good to break $1 if it can hold the bull trend in Q4. Another one that's looked better and better is Atom.
Atom This is a complete non-chart version of it, but it's like on weekdays it's less weak, on strong days it's very strong. And you notice that over time when it's kind of in your top 10, 20 items in your watch list. And I've been noticing that. So technically it's lining up, you're saying?
Yeah, the technicals look good. And I still don't know enough about Atom on a fundamental level, like to really know what's going on here token-wise with the tokenomics. But if I'm only looking at technicals, like this looks good. It's traveling through the cloud, right? It's setting itself up for bullishness. I like it. You can't say the same. If you look at Sol, right? If you look at Sol, that is not the case. Okay?
Not the same.
If you look at AVAX, which had issues with
AVAX has legal issues.
Not the case. You know, they may have their day in the sun eventually with BTC, but Sol and AVAX, not so much right now. But yeah, Atom looks okay. Matic looks pretty good. ETH looks fine. You know, there's nothing that's compelling me to press the button right now, but things look okay.
The chat has agreed. There is consensus in the chat that Atom is cursed. I'm going to call him Mink in the chat. It says, when Atom is bullish, it's bearish. Which those coins are always the worst. Like they're like the laggy bullishness, or they're kind of run a little off kilter from the temperature of the rest of the market, and then it's like, oh, that thing's pumping. Oh no, we're about to nuke across the board. Atom's been that way for a long time. I agree with that. But the tech is good. I like the tech. The Atom tech is good. I don't know about the coin.
I've never actually used the chain. I've only traded it.
I'm not saying I've used the chain either. I'm just saying I like the tech. Come on. You talk about using chains. I only use one chain. It's the Ethereum chain. Come on.
Oh, the chains.
Yeah.
This is funny because this goes back to the flow conversation. Like, why would you build a blockchain without EVM compatibility? I don't know. That boggles my mind.
Well, I think because you want to set yourself apart, stand alone. And you're always derivative. You're always derivative to ETH if you commit to EVM.
But it's just so crazy. Like we had the whole Top Shot stuff, and like there was this whole like contingent of thousands and thousands of people just like trading Top Shot. NBA Top Shot's an NFT for those who don't know. And unlike CryptoKitties, where it was just like this flash in the pan at the top of a bull market, Top Shot stuff is still being highly traded. And we're in a bear market, right? Like you don't hear too much about that stuff unless you're in that world. But it's just like it feels like there's an air gap between like that stuff and the rest of crypto. I don't know.
Yeah. YX in the chat said, because you don't have copy paste projects on your chain when you don't have EVM, and I'm not sure if that's bullish or bearish for your chain. But yeah, when it's EVM, like everybody will just come launch like sushi contracts on your chain. It's like, which is the Uniswap V1 contracts actually. And the network effects play a role. So if you're looking for more organic uptake and slow and steady and whatnot, then non-EVM, if it's a better system, could be great. If you want people to be able to deploy things that have been written and tested and trialed, but maybe not optimized, then EVM can be helpful. I don't know.
Well, it's undeniable that most of the money and activity is on ETH. So if you're a project that's like, a competitor, right? It's to your advantage to be connected to that ecosystem, so you can effectively like be a blood-sucking leech on users, dollars, devs, right? That can move to your chain. We've seen it with Polkadot. We've seen it with Avalanche. We've seen it with Cardano even. Like all these chains are adding EVM or starting with EVM compatibility.
Yeah.
For that reason. Somebody was mentioning GMX. Do you know a lot about GMX?
Yeah, GMX has had kind of the best run of on-chain derivative stuff of anybody, and the coin likes to go up. It's one of those that's just outperforming in a time where nothing is outperforming. Very few coins kind of fit in that realm. I've got some friends that love GMX. I felt like I missed it, so I've just been coping. I even saw that triple top kind of consolidation at the highs, and I was like, not buying. Should have again, but I haven't been. but yeah, it's very popular. It's got good yield. It's got some volatility muted liquidity options, and the liquidity within their derivatives is very good. So people are pretty hyped about it.
I've been told it's just a massive casino, but I don't know. I don't really know too much about
Yeah,
it.
it probably is, but I don't know. And it also runs on both Avalanche and Arbitrum, and it's like I think one of the most active contracts or whatever within each, and it might be a massive casino, but that's what most trading platforms are. So the fact that it's got anybody using it is in itself very good for it. So yeah, its fee mechanism too is really good. There you can see it's earning quite a lot. So
Yeah, so we're back to Regarb. We're back to EOS running dice games. Like that's the level that we've reached.
I don't know. I don't think it's dice games. I think it's
No, but let's be realistic. Let's call a spade here.
It's BitMEX on chain.
Which, hey, is
Bullish.
fine. I guess my qualm is like, does this have lasting potential? But if you're trading it in the minute, in the day, what do you care?
Yeah. I don't know.
Just let it be. Let sleeping dogs lie, as they say.
Josh, is there anything exciting out there, or are we going to have one of these where we cut it short again?
Well, it's exciting if you're a DXY maxi because
DXY that chart is mooning.
Hit, what is this, I'm going to go to the monthly chart just to see it.
Yeah.
It's just insane. What a run.
I mean,
let's give it up for the dollar.
Are you trying to get us to lose listeners?
It's crazy. Like, you just have to admire the beauty that is, just from a technical perspective.
Daily. I mean, this dip got eaten up. We talked about how it could still be comfortable 100 to 103, and I didn't even dream of it. Weekly new highs. I wonder if there's RSI. Yeah, still building bear divs, but that doesn't mean it's going to go down. And that monthly, as you pointed out, I'm just showing the candled version of your ridiculous line charts.
Well, this is going to be like that oil chart from like 2017 or whatever, where it has like a year-long bear div. And then finally,
it's like just keeps going.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it wants to go to 120 to me. Just looking at previous levels.
120.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That'd break things.
Yeah, it's just hard to do well in anything that pairs against the dollar when the dollar strength is like this,
Yeah. Now think about it in this capacity. This makes it craziest to me, where you've got inflation in dollar terms. So let's say you've got 10% inflation on your thing of choice. Then the dollar is kicking every currency's butt. So if you're in one of the countries, let's take the euro, where it's down like 20% relative to the dollar and cost of goods are 10% higher just in dollar terms, like you're getting turbo wrecked. And that's in addition to energy. That's not like just their natural gas problems. That's just one of them emphasized. But even if you go to regular stuff like food for dollar exported stuff, just real nasty. So it's going to wreak havoc on the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's a definite wrecking ball for sure.
Yeah. So Dixie looking pretty good. Dixie maxis.
Dirty fiat maxis doing extremely well.
Yeah. When I look at the S&P on a monthly, it also just looks like it's like kind of out of momentum on this little run that it had. It could go sideways, could do all kinds of things, but I don't love that monthly that just closed. So that's a pretty ugly close that we had there a couple days ago, where it just went right into that 20-month and then closed at the lows of the month for August, and then we'll see what happens this month, but I don't expect it to be anything particularly good.
Yeah, and gold looks like junk as well, surprisingly. Or unsurprisingly, I don't know. You'd think gold would do well at inflation times, but...
well, not with the way that dollar and rates are going.
I don't know. What do I know? I'm just LARPing as a chartist, right? I don't know anything.
Yeah. The cross. Someone put in the cross currency basket relative to the dollar, and it's also struggles when yields are doing well, which yields have also made what it looks like a pretty bullish breakout to me. If I go, they've eased off a little bit, but if I go to the weekly, the 30-year yield is like just sitting there at this long-term level, 3.3%, 3.4, 3.2 for the 10, also a multi-year level, like right in 2018 before the dump. That's about where it was. And then the 2 years broken out, little reversal candle this week, if that means anything, but retraced everything that happened since 2018. So all of those are long-term, like 20 and 30-year trends that are broken. So hard to deny that.
Yeah, there's no textbook about what's going on now. We can say it's stagflation. We can say, I don't know. We can say it's a recession. But with like every little thing that's going on around the world, man, it's just.
I think it's stagflation. I think stagflation's the most clear outcome. Personally,
I think it's applicable for sure, but that on top of like energy crisis and. I guess there was an energy crisis during the last stagflation period, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that was Carter, maybe?
Yeah, 70s.
Don't ask me. What do I know? I'm a crypto bro, okay?
We're just trying to stay alive out here. Time to be patient. Still time to be patient.
This Dixie Daily, back to the Dixie. This is the cloud I want to trade, right? This is the dream trade if you're looking for
playing that trend.
A trend.
Look at that. There's a perfect Keynesian bounce at the bottom.
It's super clean all over the place. And we had talked about this months and months ago about this weekly inverted head and shoulders. Anyway, it's just like this is the type of trade you want to take in crypto or wherever.
If you want to buy that bounce, rather, or buy the dip.
Yeah, the dip on the DXY just levels off. Could go back to 100, but we're so far away from that at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it should make for a good trade for crypto whenever it does ease off. It's just trying to predict it when it will ease off, or if it'll go another 10-15% before it does. That's the hard part. But there'll be a good trade for crypto in that if you want to knife catch the dollar reversal trade. The upside we had was during that previous reversal there that you can hardly see on that chart you've got up, but it was several weeks of dollar consolidation, and crypto did pretty well. So if you can time those, then you can do well. If you find the macro turn, then you can do very, very well. But that's all I know, man. That's all I got. I don't have very much. People liked the last 30-minute show we did, and I feel like in a bear market, we might not want to overextend ourselves when there's not that much to say. You have anything you want to close with?
No, that's fair. I mean, it's the same thing week over week, right?
Yeah.
Dollar strength, crypto neutrality / weakness / bearishness, waiting for the merge.
Yep. As Karen in California says, hope everyone has a nice long weekend. Thanks, Karen, and everyone else for being here in the chat. We appreciate you very much. Enjoy your Labor Day if you're here in America. Otherwise, enjoy Monday without U.S. markets open. We'll catch you next time. Like and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Thanks so much.
Monuments crumble in the blink of an eye. The easy river has just run dry. In a house of cards, I feel the breeze wound so tight I can barely